Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. If you can't, just say you can't in chat, please. Looks like people are saying hello. This is live. Yes, this is live. This is, I think, oh, great. I'm glad the audio is good. I'm the one that does all the videos and whatnot. I unfortunately have the best personality of the team. We are all essentially developers and whatnot. So yeah, I'm the best one with personality and can talk halfway decently. So I get to do all these videos. But today's our first webinar. We're going to start to do these either every other week or every week. We're making a lot of changes to the application and how it's used. And so want to get feedback and want to show it to you. Maybe not every day, but close to every day. But let's kind of just jump into a little bit what we're going to talk about, and appreciate everybody attending today. It's great to have folks on and spend some time. Just for quick background, hopefully everybody see my screen okay. Prep to Grow. For today, this is who I am and our agenda. Essentially, my background is very heavy on the product and technical side. I've spent 20 years essentially predicting and determining how organizations will perform and how people will perform, which actually transcends nicely into stock prices. At companies at Amazon, Oracle, Cisco, and Career Builder, I have 7 patents. I've also been a professor part-time as I was working and taught corporate strategy and strategic management. I have a big background in this, and I'm a co-founder of the company. We've been doing this for the last 15 years. And really our whole notion was predicting how organizations will perform. Really, this turned into how do we use this to predict stocks, just because there's a huge correlation between organizational performance and stock performance and option performance. And plus, we hated investing. It's very hard to do. It's very risky. It's very uncertain. And so our whole premise is to try to take the guesswork out of trading by giving as much information and doing as much due diligence before we invest in the stock. So let me just give you a quick overview of how we do that. This is a very busy slide, so I'll kind of walk through it quickly. We go through several stages before we ever put a recommendation out to our subscribers. We don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose money. Losing money sucks, especially this day and age with stock trading being so volatile. And so we do everything we can to make sure that if we send one out to our subscribers, it's as less risky as possible. The first thing is we pull in a bunch of data from everywhere across the entire stratosphere, patents, NASDAQ information, technical financials, 10Qs, their quarterly announcements, press releases, Twitter, so on and so forth. We take all this stuff, we bring it in. We have a ton of algorithms and AI that assess how a company is going to perform based on that data. We then go through a technical analysis where we start to look at what their projections are on a quarterly basis or an annual basis. And as we go through each tier, we start to take companies out, right? So if company is going to perform good or bad, we're going to take it to the next level. If it's kind of status quo, we're not going to keep it going. And technical analysis is, what does a quarterly look like? Are they going to hit or miss the quarterly results, or what are they going to look like in 6 to 9 months? If it looks like we're directionally looking like it's going to be a good thing, so keep that down to the next level. And we start to look at success rate and gain. We don't recommend a company until we've at least done 30 days of testing on it, meaning that we'll make 30 days of predictions for a company that we're expecting to perform one way or the other. If it doesn't, if we're not successful at predicting its direction and a gain, we don't keep it going on to the next level. So we start to filter all these things out at every level. So once we have a stock or a company that's going to perform a certain way, the technicals are good and supports it, success rate is good for the company that we're recommending, and there's a high probable gain gain of at least 15% for an option or 5% for stock, we take it down to the next level. This next level assesses whether or not it makes a good stock or good option. Not all stocks make great options. And so if we don't think a recommendation is going to be a good option, we recommend it as a stock. If we think it's a good option, we'll recommend it as an option, but we'll also analyze all of their option chains. So we'll look at every single expiration date and every strike price from that expiration date to find the ones that are most likely to move in relationship to their predicted stock price. So that's why some of you may have noticed that we have expiration dates with strike prices that are maybe $100 over its current price. Well, in those cases, we find that there's a lot of movement for those expiration strike prices, and that's why we recommend it. And then once we have all this done, and this happens on a daily basis, we kick it out to our subscribers to look at and to see if there's a match on what you're looking to invest in. And then once it is out there, we monitor, adjust, and we alert to the changes of it. So a good example is if we made recommendations for today, and there's such volatility with the stock or the option that we may cancel it and take it down because it's too risky. Adjustment means that as we're going from day to day, we're updating our predictions on it, our buy prices and our sell prices gets updated. Alerts, hopefully everybody now sees that emails and our text alerts are working. And so if there's a change to the status of the recommendation, we send out an alert to everybody and let them know. So in essence, this is what we do. Again, we put huge emphasis on making sure we get out solid recommendations that fit the prep to grow strategy. We also, for the active traders, we provide essentially everything, even the ones that get filtered out that don't fit the prep to grow strategy. You have access to those because usually there's some form of volatility on that. And I'll show you what that looks like and what we call movers. So I'm going to pause for a second. I see some questions, just hello, earnings, that kind of stuff. We do share monthly numbers. Essentially what we do is, and we just released our November numbers at the beginning of January, and we'll release our December results the first week of February. We try to give it 30 days in terms of from the end of the month to give our what our success rate is, just because we recommend predictions or stocks and options up until the last day of the month. So we give it 30 days to sell and do whatever it needs to do in that period. And then at the end of the month, December or January for December, we post the results. Carla says, I love the system, made lots of money once. Very glad. We want you to make money. We spend a lot of time making sure we get recommendations that are hopefully good. So fingers crossed we continue to perform. So I'm just going to walk through quickly the application, and we have 22 minutes. Lawrence says, performance calculator for active traders. Sorry, Ganesh, I'm sorry. We only look at the prep to growth strategy. So I'll walk through that. And those are the numbers. We also, when we publish our results at the for the month, we list out every single transaction or recommendation we made, the buy date, the sell price, that kind of stuff. And if you want, you could also double check it. If you're an active trader, you can go back and look at the history of it. We are going to put these in the application itself so you can see the history of every single recommendation we've made. So you can back test it and whatnot. We're also going to allow for Excel downloads, so can you also back test it as well. So just kind of go through this at a 50,000 foot level and then go into some detail. So the first thing you'll notice as you come into this, you're asked for your preferences. What we try to do is take your preferences and narrow down your recommendations. Essentially for active traders, you get everything all the way down to low success rates for us. For folks that have, let's say, 2 options a week or 2 stocks a week, this is important because we're going to filter them out based on your preferences. Platform just helps with the alertings. Our risk levels is how risky you are. Cost per trade is really how much you're comfortable spending on a trade. A quick note on this, and we're going to update this. If you are doing stocks, you're going to want to lower yours down to $200 or less, just because stock recommendations that we have typically aren't over $200, right? The 90% of them are less than $200. So if you're on the stocks and you're getting recommendations or two options, a 2-stock subscription or just 2-stock subscriptions, make sure you lower this down or make it very broad so that you get the recommendations. If you put it to $1,000 or more, you're probably not going to get stocks recommendations every week. So just know you got to tweak this a little bit to get stock recommendations. And we'll make that more clear. It's probably a little confusing here, so we'll clean up the terminology. When we come into this, you'll see you can search for stock symbols. So if you want to see United, which has got a lot of gaming going on today, you can see United and just quickly type in and it shows the search results. So you can search for stocks or by company name. This will tell you how many recommendations you have, and you have some pagination, meaning you go from one to the next. We show 9 per page. You could also see this table view or card view, depending on how you like it. Those folks that are not active traders, you probably like this card view a little bit better. Just kind of getting into the recommendation itself. This is what a recommendation looks like. Sorry, I'm just refreshing. This is the date it's recommended. Just note that when you come into the application, you'll see the latest recommendations, and it's ranked by date and then by the likelihood of success. This is why you should buy. So we allow people to select they're going to buy it or like it, does it fit a strategy, and mild risk. So if you click on the dollar signal, this will send you email alerts and text alerts if you sign up for it. Just note, like just means it's a list you're going to save. This gives you what is our prediction. So what's the price, what's the stock price, how much it's going to change, and what the gain is. This is for a stock. I'll dig into an option in a second. This is our 5-day success rate, and this is our 30-day success rate. Just note that we specifically pick or have algorithms that determine if a stock can sell or option sell in 5 days, or can it sell in 30 days. So really it's 2 different recommendations. And so if you're looking for quick 5-day returns or same-day returns, this is what you want to look at. And this is critically important as you look at the shorter expiration dates. So if you have one in February, if the 5-day success is, let's say, 40% or 70% or even anything less than 95%, I'd probably pass on it. I'm not as risk tolerant, so I would pass on it if it didn't have a greater than 95% success rate in an option that was going to expire with 30 days. And then this is more important for the longer term options. We do give dates on when you should get concerned. So if it doesn't hit a gain by, in this case, March 2nd, start getting worried. If it hits April 4th, it hasn't hit, then the chances of it turning around are not as great. We will send out sell loss alerts now. So if it's, with 30 days of expiration is not going to turn, or if it's a 50% loss, we'll send alerts saying it's probably a good time to get out. These are the buy details for stocks. Straightforward, just buy at market for stocks. We're incredibly accurate with stocks. So anything 85% above is probably a good stock buy. These are our moving averages for the technicals. This is the charts that we have in case you want to do more analysis on it. This does everything you could possibly want it to do from a stock charting perspective. And then down below is the company overview. If you don't know who the company is, this gives you the details of who they are, what their quarterly forecasts are, what their earnings dates are, what their analyst pricing is, etc. This gives the news, and this gives learnings on how to buy. So if you're new to trading, this is where you want to look at in terms of how to buy a stock or how to sell an option. So learnings on every single page. So if you have questions on it, just look at the learnings first or reach out to us. So if we go back to this, let's get into an option. Options have a lot more detail around it. We have volume. What's our volume? This is from the close. We do open it. We do update it intraday. Let's spend a second on the pre-market movement. So we do predict option price. So we expect it, just like we predict with stock prices here, we expect this price is going to go up 2.8%. So for this is probably a longer option, but we feel that this is going to go up at least 15%. Any prediction we do give around options, we essentially have 25% option increase. So it gives padding for you to get in and out at a gain. We are going to start to publish what is our forecast for the option price from this time frame, so you have a better target of when to get in or out. Typically, your standard's 15%. Get in, get your 15%, and get out for an option. Those that want to stay in longer, we will give you that end number we're expecting it to go to. Is it 20%? Is it 50%? What is that end option price and gain? And that'll allow you to stay in longer, so you get maximized return out of that. Under the buy details, it gives you everything you need to buy. Equity, is it a call or is it a put? What's the symbol? What's the contract name, just to double check it? What's the expiration strike price? What's the last option price? So this is from the close. And then we start to calculate out trail price, limit price, and estimated trade cost. We're going to make changes to our buy date and price. We typically buy the day before at the end, and so it's a little bit unrealistic for folks that get it the next day. So we're only going to buy our stuff the day it's recommended for everybody. Yes, Lawrence, option price is the last price, correct, from close. Previous day close, correct. And then moving average is the same as before, stocks, details around that, news, so on and so forth. So really, if you're buying an option, this is the meat of where you want to look at. You want to look at the volume and you want to look at the pre-market movement. So alerting on sell option. So if you want to get alert to sell, just click on this and it'll send you a text or alert. We forecast out essentially when this gain gets 15 to 20% above. We'll send out an alert to let you know it's probably time to exit. If it's at a loss, we'll send a loss out either 30 days before the expiration date, or is it at a 50% loss already and it's time to exit. So current day stock picks, the question. So I'm going to get into the filtering right now. Max loss, yeah. So we send out a max loss at 50% alert. You guys can determine your own risk threshold if you want to get up beforehand. Some things we are going in 30 days out, correct? So if we want to filter, this is our filtering, and then I'll get into the movers next. So filtering, there's a lot of options here for you, especially if you're an active trader, you want to start to screen. Just a quick thing on some things that are coming out this weekend. We're going to allow you to save filters, or what we're calling screens. So we're going to allow you to save up to 10 screens. And so if you want to say, show me everybody that is active, that has a 5 days to a 90% accuracy in selling in 5 days, that partake in the QQQ, then send me an alert. So that's coming out this weekend. I'll have a video on it for Monday, but that's coming out this weekend. So just a general on the filters that we're calling screenings. You can filter by category. These things are also quick filters on the recommendation page. You can filter by status. Active means it's a good deal. It's time to trade it. Sold means we've already sold it. Caution means there's not a lot of gain left to be made off of it. So you want to be cautious about getting into it and have expectations that you're probably not going to get a 15%. So be cautious about getting into it. We're also going to add in closed. And so for folks that like or buy their stocks a lot and track it that way, you may see some closed on it. That essentially means that market, it went off the rails and we decided to pull it before market opened. Type, you can filter by type. Movers, I'll get into a second. Essentially, this is anybody that has a lot of pre-market movement or unusual option activity. This is a predicted price change. So how much of a gain you're looking to make based on the stock, how much the cost of the stock or contract. You should note this is one contract or one stock. So just know that this is days to gain. So we track for every recommendation we make, we track the start day we recommend it and the end date when it's sold. And so this is an average, and this is based on our 30 days. So if you're looking for a quick gain, go 1 day's kind of longer gain, 60 days. Just note on average for the prep to grow strategy, all of our recommendations, or should say 50% of them or more, actually sell within 5 days. So quicker gain, prep to grow strategy. Success rate in 5 days, success rate in 30 days. This is important for the prep to grow strategy. Really, 95% above is our key for this. They're the most stable. They hit the most consistently. That's why they're 95%. They have a smoother ride to it. And those are the ones you should focus on. If you're working on volatility or your own strategy as an active trader, you should go for it. Do whatever you want. Hopefully you're more successful than us. But just note, even with something that has a 95% accuracy, you should have realistic expectation. That essentially means 9 out of 10. We're not perfect. We try everything we can to make sure we get you the less risky recommendations, but we're not perfect. So you got to factor that into it. And that's why the strategy is for us to have 10 trades going at once, because the goal is to be 9 out of 10, right? We're not going to be 10 out of 10. Nobody's 10 out of 10. So that fits our strategy. Trade date. So if you want to, Lawrence, I'll tell you a little bit about the hit rate since inception. It's posted on our website, and I'll show you where you can find that in a second. Trade date. So this is trade date. So this is essentially for today, so the 28th. So you will see all trades that are for today. So we'll just select that. So somebody had a question, I'll show it to you. Next is volume, open interest, options, volume, open interest, stock volume. So if you play volatility, you can look at for the day. You can see sectors now, so you can sort by the sector that you're interested in. Below this on Monday, you'll see ETFs. So you can sort by ETFs that are coming in. Again, QQQ, SPY, JETS, all the major ones will be available for you. ARC, if you like the smaller ones. Market capitalization, forecasted quarterly revenue, EPS, forecasted price to earnings for the ones that do a lot of screening. Next earning dates, essentially this is, if you click yes, you'll see everybody that's announcing within the next 3 weeks if you want to play earnings. If you hit no, then you won't see any of them that's going to have an earning announcement with the next 3 weeks. We all know that there's a lot of volatility, as you can tell from this week's ups and down of the NASDAQ. Earnings is highly volatile. So if you're cautious, just make sure you have it selected so you get rid of the ones that are going to announce. If you like the volatility and play that, hit yes, and you'll see all the ones that are announcing. So Linda, you're asking, why do I not see any of your recommendations that on your screen in my recommendations? So what you're seeing here on my screen is the active traders. So active traders have access to everything. I shouldn't say everything, anything that has a 40% success rate or higher, you'll see all of them. And from there, you can pick and choose the ones you want. So for today, I filtered off of today's trading date of January 28th, and there's 128 recommendations we made for that day. So just give you a quick view of this. You can see the list one. You can see the list one here and just kind of what it is, right? So active, mild risk, we like mild risk. And you can see the status, the risk, the cost, expiration date, what's the pre-market movement, volatility, what's the equity type, days to gain, and should you buy it or not? Or you like it or not. I track every prep to grow recommendation we made, so I click on that. So let's jump into movers real quick. So there's 10 movers that are happening for today. Here, let me just get rid of my filter. Quickest way to get rid of a filter is just refresh your screen. Movers essentially is anything that's moving for either pre-market or during the day. We do have the ability to predict what is the option price change in relationship to the stock change. So we can say, like Lamb Research here is a put, their stock has gone down, and for this expiration date at this strike price, you should expect that when the market opens that there'll be a 63% increase in the option price. So if you're a day trader or want to play some volatility for the day, this is a great place to do that. You can also see the volume to open interest ratio, which is important for unusual option activity. So we show that as well. So anything that's shown in the pre-market movement, essentially we screen out those that are not moving. So they have to have at least 3% pre-market movement to show up on this list. So we screen out all the junk for you. Volume to open interest rate, essentially anything greater than 1 gets shown up on this, and it happens pre-market and throughout the day. So if you look at Lamb Research real quick, if you're playing volatility, these success rates won't mean a lot to you, but just know that when we have made predictions about the direction for this, we've only had a 65% accuracy. So we'll never use this as a prep to grow recommendation, but for volatility, we may play this for the day. And you can see here's the close price, here's what's the projected opening price, and this is the change. And you can see from over the last 5 days that in essence, the stock has just tanked. And they just did their earnings announcements, and that's why. So from a mover's perspective or a day trader, this is a good place to go to find movement for the day and make some trades on that. I know we got 5 minutes left. So that kind of goes to the meat of what we're doing. Oh, just one other thing, I'm sorry. For bot, Airlight, if you select on something on bot or liked, you will keep that recommendations forever, right? Until it's done and been sold or whatever it is. So if you want to keep it, and this is for active traders and the non-active traders, select this and you'll be able to track it for its entire history. Again, the buy, if you click on the $sign, these will send out the alerts. If you don't click on this, you're not going to get the alerts. So that's the meat of that. A couple of questions that are coming out. Let me go through them. So Linda, I hope I answered your questions. Lawrence, the second option, how many recommendations? So we have a couple subscription plans, right? So either 2 stocks a week all the way up to all of our recommendations. So if you go to our site, you should see what you get. For the 2 stocks and 2 options per week, when do they come out? You can come in at any point in time to see your recommendations. Before, it used to be a Monday and Thursday, they would come out. The challenge with that and why we moved to this is if we send out a recommendation Monday morning, oftentimes before the market opened, it would not be an option that you could buy because it either went way up or changed direction. So now everything is in real time. So if you come in on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, you're going to see recommendations that are relevant for 10 a.m. Eastern time on a Tuesday. If you come in on Thursday at 9:30, you're going to see a different set of recommendations. So we're not static, right? You know, we don't send stuff out on Friday hoping it's going to hit on Monday. Everything is real time. So when you come in, you're going to get specific recommendations for that moment in time. So just be aware of that. It's not static at all. It gets updated. Pricing recommendations every 15 minutes. We used to have Fang, where non-active traders would get the Fang stocks. If you're a NASDAQ trader or Q trader, Fang's critically important because they make up 65% of the total holdings of Qs. We're going to come back out with that this weekend. We're going to release the ETFs, so you can sort by ETFs. And then next weekend, we'll come back out with Fang. So everybody that's not an active trader will get those, I think it's 16 companies that participate in the Fang, and you'll get recommendations for those every single day. We did that before. We didn't quite carry it over in the application, but it's coming back out for y'all. Training material, good question. Training materials at the bottom. This specific to your platform. If you're on Ameritrade, you can see training for Ameritrade. If you're on Robin, you can see for Robin. We don't have it built out for every single platform. There's a ton of them out there, right? So we go to preferences. We do the major ones where we have a lot of subscribers on it. So Charles Schwab, Ameritrade, E-Trade, Robinhood, a couple others are the ones that we have training material on it. essentially, if we have subscribers that are, make up 1% of some form of platform, we'll do a training material on. If you want a training to build out for your platform, send us an email. Happy to do it. Usually we got a week turnaround. And I know it's 6:30 and the market is open. If you have any questions, let us know. We're going to post it out. We're probably going to do this every other week. But again, really appreciate your time. Any questions on Prep to Grow, feel free to reach out at any point in time. We're here to make sure we give you accurate recommendations and try to give you profitable returns. So let us know if it's working for you or if we can make changes to make it better for you. We love the feedback, and typically we turn it around real fast. We did this webinar because somebody recommended we should do it, so we did it. A lot of the features you're seeing coming in over the weekend, like download to Excel, came from subscribers. So got an idea, let us know, and we'll put it in. But again, thanks for your time, and good luck in trading today. A lot of volatility. Go Jets. I'm a big holder of the Jets ETF, so let's hope it keeps on going. So take care, everybody. Have a great day.